Hi, welcome to another video. In this video, I'm going to be showing you how you can make music like Pinar Toprak. If this is your first time in discovering my videos and you want to make your music masterpiece, then don't forget to tap subscribe and the bell notification so that you don't miss a beat. So Pinar Toprak is a Turkish-born composer who has been writing music for quite a number of years, and she's been working hard to build up her profile in being the next generation emerging talented female in music making. She has assisted Hans Zimmer on various projects, including some of the work that he did on the DC universe, and so that then led to her being offered opportunities working for Sci-Fi's Krypton. She's also more recently composed for the video game Fortnite. She's composed for the Pixar short Yarn. So in today's video we're going to be looking at how she approaches her music making stylistically, and how, if you want to be inspired to approach your music making to sound very big like she does, to make your music masterpiece. So let's have a look. Alright, so we're looking at Logic at the moment. I've got here an example which I'm going to play the introduction for. Let's have a listen to how it sounds. So let's take some of those themes I've introduced in this introduction. We start off with dulcimer. Now the dulcimer is an instrument where you hit with little hammers. Let's go over to the keyboard and I'll show you how it sounds. It's very close to being a repeating pattern, or an ostinato as it's sometimes called. Let's go and select the main theme where it comes in. Okay, so the French horn has the theme that comes in also in G minor, starting with a D. And that also is accentuated with the strings section. And you can just hear that string section bringing in the melody as well. So we'll just add in the brass. Now some people have been asking me, how do you get the female vocals to sound so realistic? And like all the sounds I've been using in this music, it uses sound library by a company called East West Studios. Now East West Studios, they specialise in sampling realistic sounds in realistic settings, and you can then trigger those with MIDI. I'll put some details of them in the description below the video. That was pretty much section 1. We're going to move on to section 2. This time we're introducing some Eastern sounding instruments, building on with the dulcimer, so let's have a look at those. can see that I've organised these instruments into different colours, and that's a really good way of knowing which instruments are coming in where, and you can see them at a glance. The standard colour is green, but actually by grouping them into different colours it means yes, orange is strings, yes, blue is brass. So it's a really good way. You can of course choose your own colours. If we go over to the mixer, I'll show you how we can do that. So you can see in my mixer here we've got different colours. I've got purple for grand piano, orange for strings, blue for brass, pink for percussion. It's super handy for this workflow, because what you can then do is I scroll over to the right, you can group all these instruments into one single auxiliary track. So to change the colours of any track here, you click on the track you want, right click anywhere, and then you can assign the channel strip colour. So going back to the main screen then, you can see that with that particular section I introduced some new instruments, duduk, tabla drums, and of course more from thunderous drums as well. So there's much more used with percussion. But again, coming back to the original theme performed by the dulcimer, you can hear that on the piano once again. That theme comes in once again, and of course you've also got this very nice low brass harmonic minor melody that comes in. The tuba line starts with the G and then comes in stepwise. Here's that minor third and then goes over for the raised seventh. I mentioned harmonic minor because there is a melodic minor which sounds like this. That scale is used, you can hear the difference there, but I wanted to have this one, the harmonic minor, because it adds more of that Eastern influence. Let's go over to the next section and we can talk about how I treat a new time signature and bring in new interest as well. And this is something which is important for film composers, because you don't just want to have a cut, copy and paste rigidity to your compositions. That's how I did it in the early days, very much a lover of cut, copy and paste. But now, hopefully a bit more nuanced, and you want to be able to blend your sections together. So let's have a look at how the next section sounds. You can hear that I've managed to bring back that melody once again, this time with the vocalist, and I'll just show you how that sounds over on the keyboard. So on the keyboard you've got a very nice, and again depending on how hard you hit the key will change, or the velocity or the loudness if you want to call it that way. You can also, in some cases, key in the word that you want them to sing, and they will sing that word, as in the case of the choir. So if we go down to the choir sound, you'll hear how the men will sing the word thunder. Again, accentuating that harmonic minor with the scale, and then that punchy repeating pattern going over the top, with the brass adding extra interest. Let's have a look at the next section to see how I build into a new time signature and how we build up into the original theme once again. it's really important to think like the performer. I used to, way back 20 years ago, write woodwind lines for woodwind players and never allow them to take a breath. So a really good composer, Christian Henson, recently said in one of his videos on YouTube, said that think like the performer and you will be able to write for the performer and they will thank you for it. So don't write too many long woodwind or brass lines. They have to breathe, they have to survive the performance. So the second violin line sounds like this. Obviously, with mistakes excused, you can see that you get the rough idea of that. Accentuated by that harmonic minor scale with the vocalist as well, as she soars over the top of that. And then of course the strings are coming in with this repeating pattern again, that 3-note repeating pattern, very similar to what the dulcimer had done earlier on in the music. But a little bit different this time. And we're leading into the initial section again. Notice our time signatures in 4/4. Notice that we are a lot slower than we were before. Let's go over to Logic and I'll show you how you can change the time signature and how I approach the time signature for this particular section into the next. So back to Logic. And if we hold our mouse and click over this section on the left hand side, just above where all the tracks are listed, you can see where all the automation is. You can see where the time signature has changed to 4/4 in this section, and I'm leading back into 3/4 as we go over here. Let's play that difference. You'll be able to see the tempo going from 90 beats per minute all the way up to 42 beats per minute. Okay, so you're hearing most of the music now, and if you'd like to download this track for free, then join my Patreon, and if you're not sure what that is, here's a video to explain more. Be part of my Patreon clan. If you want to be part of my clan and support me to help you make your music masterpiece, then head over to patreon.com/UNSmith, where you can support me along with all these wonderful people that already have. If you support me in March of this year, you will be entitled to these amazing benefits you will be able to access. You'll also want to check out my Reddit group that has just started, and also my Discord. So if you've got any questions on music making, then either you can head over there or you can drop a comment on one of my YouTube videos. So that's Patreon, and if you're interested in finding out more, links are in the description, and you could also find out more. If you would like to make your music masterpiece, then don't forget to subscribe and click that bell so you don't miss a beat. And of course, if you want to check me out on other socials, you can do so. You can check me out on Facebook, and of course if you're part of my Patreon group, you will be accessing an exclusive Facebook only group as well as exclusive Patreon only area of my website as well. You could also follow me on Twitter at UNSmithMusic, and if you would like to check out my behind the scenes little video clips and pictures of the music that I'm making, of what inspires me, you can check me out over on Instagram as well, over on UNSmithMusic too. Thank you very much for watching this video. I will see you in the next one. Cheers!